You are now tuned in to the 411 for your fantasy football with your host, Autumn Wind Williams.
What up, guys? Second take here. Right when I'm in the middle of the video, I get solicitors at the door. Anyway, this is your boy, Autumn Wind Williams. You're now tuned in to the 411 for your fantasy football. We're now in the Super Bowl weekend, talking about Super Bowl LIV going down in Miami. We got the Kansas City Chiefs going against the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, in the Bay Area, I'm dealing with all these bandwagon Niner fans all over the place. Former Raider fans, now that their team is supposed to play in Las Vegas, unless something else happens that I know about and you don't. But yeah, just dealing with a lot of that. Yesterday at work, we had a bunch of Raider fans and Patriots fans and all type of others just all of a sudden wearing Niner gear. It was a Super Bowl party that we had in the office, and I swear, this dude told me Julian Edelman was the greatest wide receiver and Patriots this and that last week, and then he pops up with the Deebo Samuel's jersey. What type of game is that? But yeah, do you. I'll do me. But besides dealing with annoying Niner fans, and I haven't dealt with too many Chiefs fans, be honest with you. They kind of low-key in the Bay Area, I guess, since it used to be majority Raider country. But yeah, like I said, besides that though, the depressing news with Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gigi, and the 7 other people that passed away on a helicopter, that was really very, very saddening. It was emotional times. Brought back a lot of emotions when we heard about it last night when they had the Los Angeles Lakers on TV doing a Kobe Bryant tribute. Yeah, never felt that emotion about a celebrity passing away. I believe it's because it was his daughter as well, along with the other victims and the families that have to deal with that hardship now that all of them passed away. So appreciate your family while they're here. Reason why I'm making this video early is because I'm supposed to go hang out with the family. Going to a restaurant with a bocce grill and everything, all in the memory of my grandmother that unfortunately passed away last year. And you know, we just going to bond together and reminisce about old times when she was alive and just enjoy each other's company. So man, appreciate every last second you have with your family. If you have them near, spend time with them. If they're far away, give them a call, video chat, plan a trip to go see them. Man, I'm telling you, use your time wisely because that can be gone any second. You can too. So yeah, don't take it for granted. Besides that, sad news and bandwagon Niner fans. I looked on Draftkings today, and the XFL has lineups on there for us to build. So I will be providing content for you guys on YouTube. I'm thinking about doing podcasts later on too. I'm not sure when. I gotta look into researching and everything, how that gets done. Where should I do the podcast? How I get on iTunes, and yeah, I'm gonna try to bring it a little bit more for you guys. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment below. Tell me who you picking for the Super Bowl. You having a Super Bowl party? Tell me what you making. Where you gonna have the Super Bowl party? Is it gonna be at the crib, Buffalo Wild Wings? Are you in Miami? I got a cousin that's in Miami. She's a diehard Niner fan. She's posting videos all on social media, hanging out with Too Short and everybody, man. She's doing it big. Spent $10,000 on a package. But yeah, I'm not doing it unless I win big on Draftkings and Fanduel. So I'm going to give you lineups right now for us to, well, not give you lineups, but help you get built lineups. Not doing anything on Yahoo because they already had the lineup set last week. You can go in and edit them, for Yahoo, but they had it combined with the Pro Bowl last week. Might win on a couple when I was just reviewing who I selected last week. Some of them did fairly decent. Man, where was Austin Hooper though? MIA, damn near. Where was Alvin Kamara? MIA. Man, he was clickbait. But yeah, moving on to Super Bowl LIV, going down tomorrow. Miami, San Francisco 49ers against the Kansas City Chiefs. What I'm going to do this week, I know normally I give you quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense. When it's a showdown, I can't do that. And I know how Draftkings and Fanduel operate. They think if I give you lineups on video, all you guys going to use it, it's going to cause collusion. So I can't do that. So what I'm going to do on Draftkings is give you 5 guys. I'm not going to tell you who I'm selecting for captain. On Fanduel, I'm going to give you 4 guys. I'm not going to tell you who I'm selecting as MVP. But I'm going to help you out as much as I can. And hopefully we all be successful. How about that? So let's just get on to it right now. Pulling up Draftkings. What I was thinking about before I created this video is I definitely want to play both of my tight ends in my main lineup. I'm talking about Travis Kelce and George Kittle. Both of them didn't do that great last week. Especially Kittle because of Garoppolo wasn't throwing the ball. I don't know what's up with that, but I think it's going to be different this week. It might end up a shootout game. I'm not expecting this to be a low-scoring game. A lot of excitement is built around this with the 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs, but I think it's safe to play Travis Kelce and George Kittle in my main lineup. So those are going to be the first 2 I select. And if I'm playing Kittle, I may as well play Mahomes too, since he's going to throw the ball a whole lot more than Garoppolo. And I think that's a good selection right there. I know a lot of people would be like, no, don't play him, he's going to be chalk. But sometimes you need to play the chalk. Because say if Mahomes is 50, 60% on, 70% on, and he has a bad game, he's 70% on. That means the majority of the field is also experiencing a lack of points in their lineup, just like you. And that's why it's important for you to select some sleeper guys around them. When you have a high price, high on Mahomes, whether he's in the captain spot or not, you got to look elsewhere to be different with your lineup. And don't be afraid to leave a lot of money that you're not using too when you select your lineups. You know what I mean? Some guys fill to the max, some leave $200, some leave $500, some leave $2,000. If you look at a lot of winners, they left a lot of money on the table in the past. So far I got Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Pat Mahomes at my quarterback and the tight end position. Let's look at running back. Let's see. I think I want to go with the Chiefs right here too at running back. Talking about Damian Williams, because that's a decent stack right there. Travis Kelce, Pat Mahomes, Damian Williams. And I think that Damian Williams is going to get a lot of dump offs, because what the 49ers is going to try to do is cover those wide receivers on them deep passes. I'm talking about Sammy Watkins, who's been getting hot. And also, what's the other guy? Tariq Hill. How can I forget Tariq? But yeah, they're going to be looking at those guys right there. They can catch them deep passes. Travis Kelce can too, but I'm not too much worried about him being covered. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Damian Williams at running back. He hasn't been getting a lot of rushing yards. he's been getting targeted with receiving passes, though. Last week, he got only 45 yards rushing on 17 attempts. But he made up for that by catching 5 receptions off of 6 targets and got a touchdown pass with 44 yards and got you 19.9 fantasy points. So that's fairly decent right there. And he's normally known to get double-digit fantasy points the majority of the games. So that's who I'm going to have at running back, pass-catching running back at that. All right, let's look on the other side at running back. I know a lot of people are going to try to get Mostert, and they're going to question if they should get Tevin Coleman. Even though he has a shoulder, he's still going to be playing tomorrow. So they're going to be debating back and forth with Tevin Coleman and Mostert. What I think I want to do is go with Kyle Juszczyk. I know you're like, what? But think about it. You got the majority of the field focusing on Tevin Coleman and also Raheem Mostert. Well, I just slide through with Kyle Juszczyk. I know you haven't been used yet. Juszczyk haven't been used yet. Funny how that sounds, huh? But I think it's possible that he can get 1 target and get 1 touchdown. Yeah, it's a possibility. I mean, he did catch like 7 passes in week 11 and got 63 yards receiving. And did he get a touchdown that week? Let me see. Let's see. Did Juszczyk get a touchdown? No, he didn't. He only got 1 touchdown for the year. But that would be an odd guy for me to play that the majority of the field's not even thinking of from the 49ers, and say he's the only running back on their team that gets a touchdown. Then I'm way above the field with that, with the Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce and a George Kittle and Damian Williams in my lineup already. So that can really differentiate the way I built my lineup compared to a lot of people. All right, moving on to the next one. Wait, was that 5? I think that was 5, right? Yep, that was 5. Got Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Pat Mahomes, and Kyle Juszczyk. I can't give you that other 6 guy. I don't want to get accused for collusion. That's my Draftkings for you right there. If you want to consider putting in your lineups, build it now, man. Build it before lock. Don't be too late. All right, moving on to Fanduel. I think with this one, since my Draftkings was more focused on the Chiefs, I mean, I had some Niners in there too, but it was more Chiefs focused. I think on Fanduel, I should be more Niners focused. You know, you got to hedge against who you believe to win sometime and go for the other guy. Because if you lose one, you win another. You like how that works? That way you don't really lose. You either, get even with what you spent, or you win more. Sometimes it works out that way. But anyway, moving on to FanDuel. I think I want to be more Niner heavy on here. And what I want to do, I'm going to throw in Kittle again. Since I think tight ends are going to be a major factor in this game, and I think Garoppolo is going to throw more, I'm going to put Kittle and Garoppolo in there. Because, like I said, you want to hedge against what you think sometime about a certain game. A lot of people are going to be looking at Garoppolo the way I was when I first opened this video. Man, he hadn't thrown that much last game. He only had 8 passing attempts and got 77 yards, 1 rushing yard, 2.98 fantasy points. Before that, he only had 8.2 2.4 fantasy points, 11.8 before that, and 12 point change, and 12 point. He hasn't been throwing the ball. But we're talking about the Super Bowl. That means guys got to step up their game. They spent all season to get to this main event, and they don't want to go all the way to the main event and be number 2. So it's smart for me to at least put them in my main lineup, because I can win big if I have George Kittle and Jimmy Garoppolo stacked together. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put those two together. Now, let me look for somebody on the Kansas City Chiefs side. I mentioned how I want to play Travis Kelce on the other one. And I said that the wide receivers are going to be, stuck on hard by the San Francisco 49ers. But say if they don't. Say if they try to focus on Travis Kelce and Sammy Watkins. That's going to leave the speedster Tyreek Hill out there. And say that he do a punt return for a touchdown. I can try to do that on this lineup if I'm really going to hedge against me expecting the Chiefs to win on Draftkings and thinking Tyreek Hill is going to get stuck with defenders on him the whole game, shadowing them or whatever. If I'm going to hedge with the 49ers, with Garoppolo, let's go with the guy from the other side that I didn't really have too much trust on Draftkings. Let's hedge on my Fanduel lineup with Tyreek Hill. I mean, he can't put up huge amount of points. He done fell off a little bit, last week, but he's done fell off a little bit since that injury. But I think he can possibly prove me wrong and do pretty good. All right, I want to go back on the other side for the 49ers, though, since I'm trying to stack them. Let's see, what receiver can I play? Okay, everybody's going to be on Deebo Samuel. They might try to get on Emmanuel Sanders. How about I do something different on this one, too? And I'm going to leave cash. I'm going to leave some cash, too, on the table. Let's see, what receiver? What's that one guy? Kendrick Bourne. That's who I can play. Kendrick Bourne, he caught, 5 reception touchdowns this year. I thought he was quite of an interesting rookie. Just looking at the preseason games when they first started, I was paying attention to him and Deebo a lot. Like, these guys can go to the playoffs with these players they selected. And I think Kendrick Bourne can go out there and have a good game. Because guys can be mainly looking at Kittle, Mostert, Deebo Samuels, Emmanuel Sanders, but they might not be looking at Kendrick Bourne. So that's another way I can try to get a little bit of contrarian. Hopefully not too many people pick him. But, DFS, man, they will surprise you. You guys watching this might even pick him just because I said so. And you don't want to research. But let me let you know what he has done so far, just in case you're one of those people that don't want to research. He hasn't done much. Last week, he only got 1.6 fantasy points. Week before versus the Vikings, he did get a touchdown. He got 13.0 fantasy points. Week before that, 0 points. 4.9, 2.1, 16.8 in week 14. And that's where he got 2 touchdowns. So he's very touchdown dependent, but I think he can go out there and possibly get a touchdown. So that's what I'm going to have for you on FanDuel. Let me go down that list again for FanDuel. We have George Kittle, Jimmy Garoppolo, Tyreek Hill, and Kendrick Bourne. So that's what I have for you guys. And I wish you the best. Build those lineups strong. And just win, baby. Peace. I'm out.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the 411 Podcast. Now get ready to make that money. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at the 411 DFS.